Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Taco Tuesday. It is March 14th, 2023. 84 degrees here, so stop complaining, all you guys. I would do anything for your cold weather. But anyway, here we go. It is Taco Tuesday. It is CPI day. Now, again, yesterday, pointing out just very, very quickly, got that drop down to 38.0886. As we were saying on Friday, markets do not bottom on Fridays. We're now 4 sessions since the full moon. And as you guys all saw, 40.79 was what we were looking for. We were looking for 38.11. And as Jack Epcot pointed out, nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Over there on the spreads yesterday, again, being very. There goes Tick Strike. Being confident about those 35, 38, 50. Again, gonna shut you off because gotta do this here. So being confident again about those 38.55, 38.50s. They couple of guys took it late on Friday, got 150% yesterday, throwing it out there in the room for $2. Maybe gonna get $3. Got $2. Easy play, 38.55.76. Nail biter, make you pucker, but paid off. Anyway, yeah, go back a week ago. We got SPX 40.79. Now we were looking for Powell to give us 39.82. We had the VIX under 19. Here's the chart that we had there in the email. Bam, 38.11 was what we were looking for. Maybe 37.64, but we were looking for 38.11. So here we were on Wednesday. Again, same thing. We got what we wanted, and now we were looking for that move down there to that 39.80, which we got. Look back and go through. You're in there already with Thursday. We were looking for SPX 40.20, 40.30, 41.02, all of that to take place there on that Thursday. Potato, we got 40.1781, and then on the bounce there on Friday, we were looking for 39.40, 39.50. We only got 39.34, and then you all are very familiar with where we are right now. CPI today, CPI again here yesterday. Talking about that QQQ 294 and that 296.60. You got 294 perfectly. That's your resistance area that you're talking about. And here we are today. Today is officially the crossover on the 50 and 200. The 50 and 200 have crossed over bullish. So will they waste it with CPI? Me don't think so. This was the move down, the big wide move that we were looking for on SPY, coming all down, and in fact, just to make it so that it is very, very accurate, 2.5, and right there to the 250 extension, 381.27, 380.69. So pretty picture perfect as far as the entire move going down. This is definitely going to be your 5, and now what we are looking for is the recovery process. Recovery process begins at the 200-day moving average. You visited it, but you couldn't break above it. So the 200-day moving average is going to continue. That 393 that we saw pre-market yesterday before the EU started shitting on everybody, and then 400 for your obvious 50-day moving average, but also your 50 retracement back to the highs over here. And then we will see whether or not it is going to be that we are undoubtedly bottomed as we move for that 407.50 from well more than a week ago when Powell gave it to us. So again, this is a process. It is not a prediction. It's not a magic 8-ball. It's a process, and you need to prove one before you can prove the other. But what we are getting there is very obviously the proof. So far, it's only been 2 days, so don't try and microwave this. 38.55 has held on the SPX. This scared the shit out of me seeing 30 because I know the history of the VIX being in the 30s, but it's hanging here below 28.84, hanging below that 28, looking at this collapse that took place here on Friday as it visited that 28.84, and a lot of things are adding up to suggest that we very well may have gotten ourselves that bottom placement on yesterday, being 4 days after the full moon, which I don't care who doesn't believe it. Go and draw on your own charts and go back 15 years if you want to. So it is undoubtedly one of these situations where, as you see here, SIVB collapsed on Thursday. Then we got our dip here on this Friday and Monday. And now we have CPI. I'm just going to scroll you up, so try not to get dizzy. Back up here to November. In November, you had the full moon on November 8th. FTX crashed on November 9th. And then on November 10th, you had CPI. Here is your October CPI, which was the bottom of 2022. We had that big move to the downside, and this is what your results are on the October CPI. Here's your November CPI, the one I was just showing you, 2 days after FTX crashed, plus 7% on the NASDAQ. Now, for that, I want you to take a second and sit back and think. If all of that money is coming out of those regional banks, these Silicon Valleys and San Francisco, whatever the hell it is that Jim Cramer's talking about, where is it that you think that money's going to? And that's the reason why we saw that nice move on the weight stocks yesterday. And that's the reason why the NASDAQ did a lot better yesterday than did the SPY, even though we are at a very strong area over here on the Dow and also over there on the Russell 2000, which is the most affected by these regional banks. Going back, December, here is your CPI. December 13th CPI, we spiked to 4,100 plus, 4,100.96, I believe it was, which we all knew, everybody knew that was where you got short, and we were already short in December for that. There you go. Here is your January CPI. Doesn't matter what the results are. Had your little open higher than the previous close, a little bit of a dip, back to the open, back there, boom, boom, boom. Absolutely nothing burger in January. And then here is your February. Once again, a nothing burger. Range bound, very tight, and no major results. So, going into today's CPI, as I had said over the weekend, I am expecting that they are going to give you a big surprise and say, hey guys, inflation is gone, because they need something in order to set themselves up as they go into the FOMC meeting next week, which they have completely lost all credibility whatsoever. So quickly taking one little move, 3808 to 4080, 4079, and 3808.86, and I know it's 4079.49. And just going to look where the 50 is, and it takes you right there to 39.44, which again, come over onto your SPY, and that's exactly what we're looking for, that 394 area right there. So a lot of proof to be taking place over here today, PPI tomorrow. Nothing fantastic to go jumping onto, but more importantly, we are always open. And that's why you already have your trade over there in the spread room for today, which again, 3 days in a row, you're looking at a 67% return, taking that $2. CPI comes out at 8:30. You can get ready to pull the trigger after CPI. I'll have some other ideas for you, and I will see you in the chat room.
There's going to be a bailout.
Well, they had to. Right? I mean, paper markets would
They
collapse.
knew.
Cash would stop coming out of ATMs. They had to backstop this.
They knew the taxpayers would bail them out. They weren't being stupid. They just didn't care.
Yeah, because they're fucking crooks.